In engineering, Stamets continues to fruitlessly search for the cause of the spore drive failure, asking a power conduit out loud not to shock him. Working nearby, Spock wonders if Stamets realizes inanimate infrastructure couldn't hear him. As he examines the conduit, it shorts out, causing the power inside the engine room to fail. Stamets suggests that if Spock wants to save the galaxy, he can start by helping Stamets restore power before Section 31 arrives to arrest them.
You know, I am not a person who is taken by things like this, but given all my years in maintenance, there is something to talking to inanimate objects to get them to do what you need them to do.
You know, I remember a couple times when I was working as a construction plumber, and you're doing like a gas line or something, and you could tell something just didn't feel right about when you turned last joint or something, you know, and you're just like, don't leak, don't you, oh, gosh darn it. I'd end up muttering at gas lines, especially because those are the ones that can actually damage something, you know?
Yeah, man, I had a lawnmower that would only start if you talk mess at it.
Really?
Yeah. If I talk nice to it, nothing. But as soon as I started running my mouth at it, start right up every time. So I'm sorry, Spock. There is something to that.
Well, there you go.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what mechanism it could be. But there is something to talking to inanimate objects, getting them to do what you want them to do sometimes.
Yeah, well, there you go. And you get that coming from a maintenance expert, people.
I don't know about that, but...
As they work, Stamets asks if Burnham's idea helped figure out why the Red Angel chose Spock. Spock admits that he still did not know, considering himself an illogical choice, despite all of the angles he had explored. He encourages Spock to keep trying, and he'd eventually figure it out. Just then, Spock repairs the conduit and restores power and engineering. Stamets comments that he wished the spore drive was that easy. He believes the problem with the drive is the navigator himself, which he sarcastically dismisses as being unimportant, as all he does is contain the map to the entire mycelial network. Spock points out that Stamets has traveled in the network hundreds of times and would know how to travel between 2 points without assistance.
Yeah, clearly Spock has never seen humans and a lack of GPS.
You know what? I used to be really good at just driving by instinct. Like I had a sense of where something was, so I could kind of find my way there. Not for the last 15 years, though.
I have never been good at it. Yo, I've lived in my town mainly my whole life. Mm-hmm. I did not know until I started working there that my shipyard was in my town. Because I only used to go places I knew how to get there and how to get home.
Sure.
I rarely ever ventured outside of that circle.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was, from 2000 to almost 2010, me and my family lived about 150 miles from my hometown. And the first winter we were there, we didn't know where anything was. It was a town called Santa Cruz, where they filmed The Lost Boys. We didn't know where anything was. And I remember one day we all piled into the car, you know, us and our 2 kids, and we all got in the car and they're like, all right, where are we going? I said, okay, we're going to find the mall. They go, where is it? I'm like, I don't know, but we're going to drive until we find it.
I know where we're going as soon as we find the mall.
Yep. And then, you know, I just kind of took a couple roads, kind of felt like I knew which area of town it was in, and just kept driving like we were going to head that way. And sooner or later we found it. And there it was, you know. Yeah, I used to be pretty good at that kind of stuff, just kind of fumbling around just based off of a sense of where something was. I can't do it now.
Nope. Yeah. I could never do it.
I got into a screaming argument with somebody at work on Friday because I didn't realize 2 roads were connected.
That'd have been an easy thing to look up, though, bud.
Not once I have momentum built up. It's not.
That's fair. You get married to your point.
Yep.
And can't see your way out of it.
Can't let it go.
No, I get it. My wife gets annoyed at that with me all the time.
Yep.
And then later, later I have to come back and be like, yeah, You were right. I'm sorry.
But you got to let some time in between, you know? Spock points out that Stamets has traveled the network hundreds of times and would know how to travel between the 2 points without assistance. Perhaps Stamets simply does not have faith in his own abilities.
That point from the whole season, bringing it back. Faith.
Yep. Faith. Stamets suggests that whatever issue Spock had with Burnham, she risked her life to bring him to Discovery, and that she loved him. Spock points out that he saw Dr. Culber moving out. God, Spock wanted to go right for it on that one. Good Lord. Yeah. Dr. Culber moving out of their quarters, and that Stamets was upset at this. Stamets confirms, saying that Culber needed distance. Spock submits that Stamets' assessment is inverted. That Culber needed distance, not because he no longer had feelings for Stamets, but because he no longer knew how to feel about himself.
Well, that's probably right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.